Okay, this is going to be our training material. Once more, I want to say welcome to this program. My name is Charles Ugu, and I'm going to be an instructor and mentor for this program. This program is going to last for 4 months. So we start by this intensive training for you to understand what is business analysis. I don't think it's proper to take you to the field. You start implementing a project, and I'm not sure if you know what business analysis is. So this content is what we are going to be using. This is a course material that I put together for this training. So I'm not going to bore you about whom I am or my details, or I'm going to put everything for you to read about me in this course. So I'm not going to take time trying to tell you this or telling you long stories about myself. So this is the content we are using. This night we are going to look at the week 1. This week 1, we are going to look at the introductory aspect of business analysis to understand what business analysis is, and then the principles and other things about business analysis before we start looking at any other thing about business analysis. So, what is business analysis? For some of us, I studied banking and finance in the university, and those days I was thinking that I studied finance, and some of us that studied business management, all of us are business analysts. But it's not true. Business analysis, I was thinking that I can just jump in and start operating as a business analyst, but it's far from there. So let us understand it very well so that we can know how to approach a project as a business analyst. Business analysis is a systematic approach to understanding, defining, and solving business problems. It involves identifying business need, assessing potential solution, ensuring that the proposed solution align with organization's objectives. At its core, business analysis aims to enhance organizational efficiency, effectiveness, and overall success. As a business analyst, you are a change agent. You are here to solve IT problems for the organization. You are there to solve their problems. But before you solve their problem, you need to understand the company very well. You need to understand the problem very well. You need to identify your stakeholders. There's a lot of things you need to identify. You need to understand the company's vision. You need to understand their objective. These are a lot of things you need to understand before you start solving a problem in an organization. You help the organization to optimize their resources. You help them to save resources, minimize waste of time, waste of energy, waste of money. These are the things you need to do as a business analyst. So that is the basic concept of business analysis. And as a business analyst, I want to use an analogy of a medical doctor to explain what business analysis is in a very simple term. You see a medical doctor, you receive a patient, the patient will talk to you about his problem. You take the medical doctor will take those problems down. And after taking the problem, the medical doctor will take some samples, like urine sample, and take it to the laboratory, do analysis. After the analysis, you diagnose whatever is wrong with the patient. Then you make recommendation. When you diagnose, you look for possible solutions. Possible solutions are possible medications that will solve that ailment. And after then, you make recommendation. That's why you make prescription for the patient to go to the pharmacy. And when the pharmacy start taking medication, you continue to monitor the patient till the patient gets better. And that is what business analysis. You find out that after then you put it, like in this country, they store your medical record for future references. So that is the way business analysis work. You as a business analyst, when your organization is having a problem, your organization or whichever client you are working with, they are your patient. The first thing you need to do is understand the stakeholders you are working with, and then you ask so many questions, try to understand the problem they are having. That is what we call requirement gathering. You gather requirements about their problem. So what a medical doctor is doing is requirement gathering. When the medical doctor is trying to understand what the patient is suffering from, that's what we call requirement gathering. So we apply that to the company. A business analyst will capture the requirement, the current state of the company or their client or the technology they are using. You have to find out the current state. And that is what the medical doctor is trying to do, to find out the current state of that patient at that point in time. So you, as a business analyst, after capturing the requirement, you do what we call requirement analysis. That is what a medical doctor do. A medical doctor will go to the lab to analyze the urine sample, the blood. That's what we call analysis. After the analysis, you, the business analyst, you look at various solutions in the market that will solve the company problem. Those solutions we are talking about are things like CRM solution. We have ERP solution. These are technologies. A medical doctor prescribes drugs, but you prescribe solution, technological solutions. Once that solution is implemented, it's going to solve the problem. And once a medical doctor prescribes the drug and the medication, the patient takes the medication, it is going to solve the problem. And once you get the solution implemented, you continue to monitor the progress of the solution you implemented for optimization. That is how this works in a very simple term. So why I'm using this is for you to understand that it's not a rocket science. It's very simple. It's just that you work with different, you have to understand technologies the industry use. And that's why during our live project, we are going to use technologies. We are going to use technologies like ERP solutions. ERP means enterprise resource planning solutions like Dynamics 365 ERP, functional finance and control. We have a CRM solution like Dynamics 365 CRM, marketing and sales. We have Salesforce. These are solutions, various solutions in the market that will help you as a business analyst to solve company or organizational problems. So that is the way business analysis works. So let's look at the key principles in business analysis. We have requirement analysis. The first thing you need to do is to capture requirement and analyze the requirement. Requirement analysis here is central to business analysis, is the identification and analysis of requirement. This involves understanding the needs of stakeholders, documenting the requirement, and ensuring that solution meets their need. You need to understand what the stakeholders want from you. So the stakeholders here are not just the big men or the CEOs or the senior managers. We have a lot of stakeholders. We have people that are working with the solution, like I will use a CRM or sales manager or sales rep using a CRM for daily activity. When you are trying to understand the problem the sales department are having, you are not going to meet the company director to find out what the problems or the challenges the sales team are having. You need to meet the sales agent or the marketing agent or the marketing manager or the sales manager or the finance managers. So these are the stakeholders we are talking about. If it involves the CEO, good and fine. You interact with the CEO. But most of the time, they are not the stakeholders we are talking about. The stakeholders we are talking about are the people who work with the processes. So you need to work with these people. You find out who is using this CRM solution or who is working within the sales department. They are having problems. They are having a lot of discrepancies. The data is not matching. They have a lot of dirty data. Data is not accurate. Poor data, poor communication, poor data capturing. Who are the person capturing that data, capturing that poor data? You need to look for that person. These are the stakeholders. You have to find out how they are capturing poor data for you to understand how to apply solutions to solve the issue of poor data capturing. So that is the requirement analysis. These are the people you need to work with to capture requirement. Once you capture the requirement, you call it requirement gathering or requirement elicitation. Then you analyze the requirement you captured. There are so many ways to do requirement analysis. We have process mapping. You need to map the process. You need to do gap analysis. You need to, depending on the kind of problem the company is having. If you need to do SWOT analysis, then you do SWOT analysis. If you need to do root cause analysis, then you need to do root cause analysis. But the requirement you capture will determine the kind of analysis or the kind of problem they are having will determine the kind of analysis. All these things I'm saying, these are things we are going to discuss in details, how to do all this. This is just a high level. This is introductory part. So don't bother about, we are going to break it down one after the other. Then we have stakeholder engagement. You cannot operate effectively as a business analyst without proper stakeholder management. These are the headaches of the business analyst. To be honest with you, stakeholders can be very complex. Very complex stakeholders who have them. So when you are going for interview, one of the questions they must ask you is, how do you handle difficult stakeholders? They are a difficult set of people. You know, if you don't know what to do, they can be difficult. But if you know what to do, you find out that you can never have problem with any stakeholder. So successful business analysis relies on effective communication and collaboration with stakeholders. This include identifying, engaging, and managing relationship with individuals or groups affected by or influencing the project. You must identify the stakeholders, then you have to develop a communication plan. You must have a communication plan on how to manage stakeholders. To do this, we'll do what we call stakeholder analysis. So when we get to stakeholder analysis, this is where we break everything down. But at this point, you just need to understand what stakeholder engagement is all about. So you need to develop action plan, stakeholder management plan on how to manage your stakeholders. Finally, you might have up to 5 stakeholders or even 10 stakeholders that are interested in your project. So you need to identify them. You cannot manage them with the same pattern because they are different set of people. We have what we call external stakeholders and we have internal stakeholders. The way you manage external stakeholders are different from the way you manage internal stakeholders. If you are working on a project, you find out that the project you are working on, that you need to, there are some regulatory bodies, government regulatory bodies that is affecting the project. So you need to find a way to manage that kind of stakeholders. The way you manage them is not going to be the way you manage internal stakeholders. Internal stakeholders are the company or the organizational staff. These are your colleagues. So many of them might be so interested in your project. They will want you to succeed. They will try to do everything they can to be there for you. But people like external stakeholders, these can be council, local council authority people, this can be health and safety people, this can be data management, like here in this country, we, the BAs or the IT technicians, we have a lot to do with data. And this data we are talking about, these are people's detail, bank card, NI, national insurance numbers. All these are data about, so there is high level of regulations, GDPR compliance, data protection. So you need to comply. And who are the people that we regulate, make sure there is compliance? These are stakeholders. These people don't know you. They don't care about you. They don't. So all they want is that you comply. They can close their project down. For instance, if you work in a construction company or handle a construction project, the health and safety will just come there. If you don't comply, they will seal the site. This might be a project you need to deliver in 3 months. They will seal the site for 2 months. How can you deliver the project? You find out you start struggling. And the executives will not know whatever you are struggling. They will just see you that you are not competent. The next thing, they fire you. So these are stakeholders who must know how to manage different type of individuals, group of people affecting our project, and these are the stakeholders we are talking about. So we cannot start any project, we cannot start solving the problem until we understand these people. We understand what they want, their need, and have a plan on how to give them what they need within this project before the project can be a success. So that is it. And not just that, most of the stakeholders, they are going to be there till you complete the project. So there must be a plan for an ongoing communication between you and the stakeholders. So that is it. So that's how the stakeholders comes in here and become an integral part of business analysis. Having spoken about the stakeholder engagement, we have problem solving and decision making in business analysis. As a business analyst, all you are doing is solving problems. As a business analyst, all you'll be thinking of how to solve problems. That is it. So you are a problem solver, a change agent. Business analysts analyze data, evaluate alternatives, and facilitate decision-making process to address challenges and capitalize on opportunities. So all you do is looking for way to solve problems. And these problems we are talking about, you need to gather data, you need to evaluate them. All these big men in the office, they rely on you to take decision. You find out, you see a CEO will be giving speech. I want this to happen. This CEO will never do any analysis. The CEO is waiting for you to do analysis. The senior manager will go and give a media briefing about the big projects that you people have just delivered or people are about to deliver, and say authoritatively start talking about the solution. They never do. Some of these big men, they did not do any analysis. They are relying on you, the business analyst. You are the person in the field gathering the requirements, analyzing the data, and simplifying everything. You, the business analyst, you don't make decision, but you make recommendation. You recommend solution for them, and from their recommendation, they can then take decision. They can take informed decision. So if the company takes a negative decision that impacted the company negatively through your recommendation, then you are in trouble. So you must know how to analyze and make quality recommendation. To do recommendation, you need to analyze all the solutions, you need to understand all the problems, and then you come up with a document called business case. The business case is where you justify why the company should go on with this project to solve this problem, why the company should not take this solution. You must justify why the company must take a decision. You are the person doing that. So they will look at your recommendation and then take decision. So that is how you becomes a very important person in the organization, because everything, they are relying on you for decision making. And we'll look at adaptability and flexibility. Business analyst requires adaptability to changing business environments. That is where they need us a lot. The market is changing rapidly, more especially in this era, this technological era. So you need to understand the market. For you to understand the market, you must have a methodology in place that will help you to understand the market, understand the customers, and then being able to quickly adapt to the market changes. And that is where agile project management comes in, or agile methodology. So with agile, you can quickly take decisions, you can quickly make changes. So as a business analyst, you need to be very, very flexible in your approach, adjusting to methodologies, strategies to meet evolving need. This is very, very important. And because so many companies that have taken the way of agile because of the flexibility are the companies that are leading today. I want us to share more light about this issue of adaptability and flexibility. That is why so many companies are migrating to agile environment. Agile environment is managing projects, more especially using Scrum framework, managing projects in complex environments, meaning that you continue to follow the market. As market changes, you change. As market, you understand what the customers are saying. The customers these days are the people that are dictating the pace, the trend of every sector, every industry. I will use this company, Apple, for instance. Apple understood the market very well, and they become very, very flexible with the market using agile approach. When some of us are growing, we know what with the company we know is Nokia. Nokia used to be the giant in the telephone industry, but Nokia have been using waterfall approach in everything they do. But Apple entered the market with agile mindset of flexibility, mindset of adaptability, understanding what the customers want and align with the customers' need, giving customers what they want. But Nokia will just produce a phone and then push it to the market. But Apple will come, produce one version, and then collect feedback from the market, from the users, to understand what the user wants. The users will, during their review, they will say, we want this. Why can't this phone? We want a phone that we can use to capture video, do this. Okay, they say, okay, the next thing they will produce a phone, a smart screen. From smart screen, the video, and over time, Apple iPhone 1, iPhone 2, iPhone 3, iPhone 4, with different, all these things are out of engagement with the market users. They keep on asking questions, review, and they keep on applying it. And that is how they took the market out of Nokia. Nokia continued to struggle. By the time Nokia is producing anything and bringing to the market, you find out that the users have already had that already. They are no longer interested in that. They are talking about the next feature they want to see in iPhone. And that's it. And so many companies copied that. Facebook copied it. All of us know how Facebook entered the market with a very tiny application that they can just use to send message and receive message. Facebook is not the first social media. Before Facebook, we have a Yahoo Messenger, we have Skype, which we can use to send message and receive message. But those companies, those applications, they were not flexible. They were not adaptive to the market. But Facebook will continue. They will develop one feature, add on Facebook. They will collect review from user. They will ask user, what do you want to get? People will tell. I follow Mark Zuckerberg a lot. He will always be discussing about features, the coming features. And seeing people's reaction. People will say, no, we don't want it. Some people will say, this is final. We want it. These are ways of capturing data, review from stakeholders. We are the stakeholders. We are the customers. They continue to collect all these requirements from us. And the next thing you see that Facebook have added this. The next thing you see, now you see a lot of people are selling on Facebook. Now Facebook will collect requirement. How do you want to be selling? The next thing they will bring Facebook Marketplace. The next thing now, because of the way the payment system, Facebook will add payment system in Facebook. And that is even what Elon Musk is looking at achieving using Meta. So we continue to capture requirement. And the only way you can do that is through Agile. Agile will give you opportunity to be adding little requirement, little feature in an application. We continue to grow the application by developing little features and adding and keep on recycling, collecting requirements from. That is what we call adaptability and flexibility in the market. And what we do as business analysts, we are dealing with technologies that are in this fast-paced environment. So you will need to have this adaptive mindset to be able to follow technology. So you can make informed decision. You can make good recommendation to your organization for them to take informed decision. Then another key principle here is process improvement. Business analysts plays a vital role in identifying inefficiencies and recommending improvement for existing process. Because you work in a process, you have to understand the current process. Every problem most of the problems we are going to be working on are processes, workflows, how to do this, how to do that, So you have to understand the process of doing this in an organization, how you can use technology to do this. And over time, you need to continue to identify the bottleneck within the process. Using gap analysis, the first thing you need to do is understand the process, capture requirement about a current process, and then use gap analysis to understand the gap within that current process. Doing that, you can easily understand the process, the gap within the process, and make recommendation on how to improve on that process. So that's what we call process improvement. When you start applying for a job now, you are going to see a lot of job opportunity. They are not going to call it business analyst wanted. They are going to call it process analyst. Process analyst. Business process analyst. They are not going to tell you you are looking for business analyst, but you know that they are looking for business analyst. So process analyst, you mainly work on the processes. Try to identify. So many companies do not know the processes they are using. They are just there doing things, but they do not understand the processes they are using. Even all these banks you are seeing. But you, the business analyst, so many companies, that's why so many companies now are hiring a lot of business analysts. They might just hire you for you to come and be identifying their processes. When you identify their processes, you map it out and do analysis for them to understand the bottleneck within the process and look for improvement. You continue to identify different processes. If you go to finance, you understand the finance, the way they've been working, the application they'll be working, or technology they'll be working. You try to find out inefficiencies in the way It's either the way they are collecting their payment or the way they are making their payment. You look at their account receivable and account payable, how it happened. And if it's not good enough, then you make recommendation on how to improve on that process. The process we are looking at here using CRM is lead management processes. Lead management processes is a way of trying to capture a new lead, manage a lead, qualify a lead, and then convert the lead to a customer. It's a long process within the sales and marketing department, and it's very crucial because everything bothers about customers, how many sales they make. So you must get a lead, nurture the lead, then convert the lead into a customer before that lead become a customer and start yielding money to the organization. So these are processes. It's one of the things we are going to focus on. These are some of the things we are going to use CRM solution to solve. So many companies today are not using CRM to capture this lead. So that is all about process improvement. We are going to look at all these key principles in detail. These just the high level for us to understand what is involved in business analysis. Then let's look at the roles in organizational success. Strategic alignment is number one. Business analysis ensures that projects and initiatives align with the overall strategic goals of the organization. This alignment enhances the likelihood of successful implementation and positive organizational outcome. I've said so much about this organizational alignment. It's very, very important. So this is how business analysis can be a success factor to the organization. You can use business analysis for risk mitigation by identifying potential risks and uncertainties early in the analysis phase. Business analysts contribute to the development of risk mitigation strategies, minimize the impact of the unforeseen challenges and circumstances. As a business analyst, you must know how to manage risk. You must know how to identify risk and cut it short. It's one of the things we're going to look at, how to develop risk. How to capture risk and manage risk. There's what we call, one of the techniques I've been using to do that is RAID, where you capture risk and mitigate the risk. So these are some of the things you must know how to manage risk, because a risk not well managed, if it becomes an issue, it can cause company a lot of damage. In my company, I remember the day, the whole day our internet went off. But we didn't feel the impact of that internet going off, because we have a proxy server already standby to manage the risk. So immediately our main internet source went off, we quickly divert to proxy server. We don't use proxy server. We can only use proxy server in an emergency, but it's always there. The only thing is that with our proxy server, we can't give Wi-Fi. You can't receive Wi-Fi, so you cannot use your laptop, and you must connect to the proxy server manually. So that is the only thing, the difference between the proxy server and the main internet. So this is risk management. If we do not have, if we don't have a good plan on how to manage this risk, you know the amount of money we are going to lose. I remember the day they said that Facebook went down. Some people started panicking. A lot of people's livelihood are now dependent on Facebook. Their videos, their this and that, their engagement on social media. So Facebook cannot even risk of going out of service for 2 hours. Some people will take it personal because this is where they do all their business. So if you are one of the business analysts there, you must develop a risk management plan to mitigate any kind of risk, to reduce the impact. You do what we call impact analysis. During the risk management, you must, before you start any project, you need to develop. These are some of the things you need to develop as a business analyst. Do the impact analysis and understand the impact. You must have everything ready when the project is out. It's like if you are a project manager, if you have a project to deliver a project in 6 months, you must deliver the project in 6 months. So you must make available contingencies for this unforeseen. These some of the things you need to do. As a business analyst, you are a project manager. As I want to let you know that a business analyst is a more sophisticated project manager. You know, that's why these companies tend to hire more business analysts than project managers, because as a business analyst, you manage a lot of projects as well. So you must know how to identify and mitigate risk. It's good for reducing impact in the organization in case of unforeseen event. And hence decision making. Business analysis contributes to decision making, smooth decision, quality decision making. Through data-driven insights and thorough analysis, business analysts empowers organizational leaders to make informed decisions, reducing the likelihood of costly mistake. Like what I said earlier, all these big men, they are relying on you to take decision. You must make recommendation before they can take decision. Efficient resource utilization. Business analysts help organizations to allocate resources effectively by identifying areas for improvement, streamlining process, and ensuring that projects are aligned with the strategic priority. You can't just start deploying projects, or you might have a lot of, you must prioritize their need. In every project or even if you are working in an application, you must know how to prioritize the need. Prioritization is key in business analysis to avoid costly mistake or costly waste of resources. We use an approach called Moscow analysis. Moscow analysis will tell you when you are starting a project, you must identify what must be done. We call it must. Some could be done. Some are good to have. Some features in an application is good to have. If you have it, it's good. But there is no resources, there is no time, leave it. And there must be a clear gap, a clear distinction. There must be a clear scope where you cannot cross. And these are the area we call must not have. In a project, you must say what must not have. So you must define what a project must have, or a feature, or a product, what a product must have, some of the features. If you are developing or implementing a solution, you must capture what they have, what they must have, what they could have, what is good, what they should have, and what they should not have. That will help you in resource allocation. So you don't have to go and start allocating resources on some of the requirement that is not key priorities. So these are some of, if you are in an agile environment, these are some of the things the product owners must do. I think at least we have a product owner here. You know what I'm talking about. You must prioritize their needs. The product owner must prioritize what goes into the backlog, so that the developers will not make mistakes and start consuming the wrong PBIs. We'll come to that. We'll come into all these things very soon. So continuous improvement. That is what we should have at the back of our mind as a business analyst. Everything, even the solution you are deploying today, it doesn't end there. You continue to monitor for continuous improvement. If you are looking at Facebook, that everybody is loving it. You're looking at Twitter, everybody is loving it. They are continually working behind the scene and thinking of how to improve the services. It's a continuous improvement. So business analysts are champions of continuous improvement. Their roles involve ongoing evaluation and enhancement of business processes, leading to increased efficiency, innovation, and adaptability. So these are what we continually do as a business analyst. Some of us are just joining at this time. Well, that's wrong. This meeting, Abdul, we are just joining. That's no, that's not a good attribute of a good business analyst. Punctuality. You need to be prompt. When we say the time is 8:30, you should be there before, at least 10 minutes before 8:30. You should be logging in and waiting for me to join. It's one of the things you need to develop, a habit you need to develop as a business analyst. You can't be in a meeting, you can't be, no, late coming is no for you as a business analyst, because you will be having a lot of workshop, you will be having a lot of meeting, and most of the meetings, you are going to be facilitating those meetings, and the stakeholders, some big men, will come and start waiting for you. No, you have to be there on time. You need to be there. For instance, if you are having a Zoom meeting with big men, you need to be at least 10 minutes before the time, waiting for them. Why you should be earlier now? Because you can just come in to log into your system, you find out your system have crashed, and you need to have a meeting with your senior manager. If your system have crashed or your laptop is not, you have to run around and get another laptop. Your internet just went off, you need to find another way to get. That's why you need to be ahead of time. Not you be going for, you are facilitating a meeting, and your director will be there waiting for you. That is that's one of the way you show that you are not responsible in discharging your duty as a business analyst or as a project manager. So We've spoken about continuous improvement. So these are various ways business analysis can be of success to the organization. These are details. So all these are ways, roles business analysis plays in bringing changes, improvement to the organization. So in conclusion, business analysis or business analysis is a critical function that contributes significantly to organizational success by fostering strategic alignment, mitigating risk, enhancing decision-making, optimizing resource utilization, and driving continuous improvement. Embracing business analysis principles empowers organizations to negate complexity, innovate, and achieve sustained success in an ever-evolving business landscape. So that is all I want us to understand about business analysis. This is just the introductory aspect. It's just for us to understand business analysis, the concept of business analysis before we start diving in. So you have to shape your mindset. Oh, this if some of us already know this concept, or some of us do not know this concept, or like some of us are new, this is what business analysis is. So going forward, we are going to, most of all these terms I've been mentioning, we are going to be breaking them down. We are going to be looking at all the various techniques involved. There are a lot of techniques involved, like this data capturing, requirement gathering. There is a lot of techniques involved. We need to understand how to facilitate requirement gathering. We have so many of them. We have workshop, we have survey, we have brainstorming, we have a lot of them. So over time, we are going to be understanding how to, facilitate a workshop, how to organize an interview meeting, how to develop surveys. Some of these are ways. Then after capturing their requirements, you have to document your requirement. We need to understand how to use flow charts, process flow map. We need to understand how to use some of these technologies, visuals, to do a process map. These are some of the things we are going to understand in details, not just understanding it, but doing it. You have to do it. I will do it, and I will teach you how to do it, and I'll ask you to do it, and I will review what you've done. So, and we need to understand how to implement do analysis using gap analysis. Not only gap analysis, or it depends on the requirement you're analyzing, root cause analysis. We need to understand some of these techniques. If you are doing trying to make recommendation, these are some certain things you need to do. Solution evaluation. So we need to understand how to do solution evaluation. If you need to understand stakeholders, you need to do stakeholder analysis. You need to do RACI metrics. These are ways of understanding stakeholders. So as we are progressing, these are things we need to start breaking down, how to do that, how to understand that. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to cover. So, and we don't have so much time to cover all these things. So that's why we have to try as much as we can to cover a lot, because there's a lot to cover within this 1 month, because I want you to understand as much as possible so that you can apply it. When you are going to be applying it, it will be very easy for you to apply it. You need to understand the concept, do a bit of practical. While doing this training, we need to do a bit of practical, learning how to use some of these applications. We still need to do that before we start the live project, so that when we are starting the live project, it's going to be very smooth for us. So that is it. At this point, based on what we've done, and even if you have any other question that is related in business analysis that you are so curious that you can't wait when we get there, you can ask me any kind of question, but more especially related to what we've just done, so that we won't derail so much. I'm waiting for questions from the house. Or do you people understand everything I've just?
I don't have any question yet.
Okay. William?
All good from me, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all good for me as well.
All right. Abdul, what happened?
Sir, I'm sorry. I was actually in transit, so and I
all right.
couldn't get connection. That's why I'm so sorry for that, sir.
Okay. All this we are going to be is recorded, as you can see. So we are going to, as soon as I process the video will be uploaded to the course portal, so you can go there and watch it, and that's what we'll be doing. This is introductory part. There's not much. We've not said anything much here. We're just trying to make us feel comfortable at this point. Business analysis is a bit technical because there's a lot of things you need to do. If you pay attention in what we are doing here, I have to be honest with you, you are going to go far, and what I know, I will try as much as I can to dish out everything I know about business analysis, and it's going to help us. I've got one of my students, just so many of them always, even in their workplace, because I support. Once we cross paths, we become friends. So even after you finish here, we can always be working together. She came to me with work this thing, and telling me this is the way they say they should do it. And I said, no, this is wrong. You can't do it this way. This is how you have to do it. I say you should do it. This is an opportunity for you to sell yourself, because they are not telling you to do it the right way. He said she was scared. I said, do what I ask you to do and let's see the results. And she mapped out the process using a process map diagram, a flow chart. You went to Lucid Chart and mapped everything. They say you should do a demo using a slide. I said, no, you cannot demo this using slide. Say no to them and let's see. After her presentation, from just a consultant, they made her a senior functional consultant. So the point I'm making here is that we have people have seen a lot in terms of business analysis and project management and data analysis. This is what we have been doing over a period of time. And this is a good place for you to learn as much as you can. So after this, if you are over time, you have any question, you can always contact me. So the next class we are going to have is going to be on Wednesday. So between now and the next class, I'll try to address any technical challenges all of you are having. I know some of you have not been to base camp, like William. Today, you just I provisioned you today, so I've not given you access to base camp. You need to have access to base camp. Some of you, like, you need to have workshop to understand base camp as well, a bit of induction. So these are the things I have to do, and then do a quick demo. I might not call you people to, but I will do it and share the video so that you can watch it and see how to use our course portal. I want everything to be so smooth so that next time we are coming, I'll make sure nobody is struggling to log in or to view any of our course resources. So these are things we're going to, but going forward, things will continue to be smooth as we continue to, accelerate. So if you don't have any question, I want to say thank you for joining tonight, and see you on Wednesday.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it.
Would you want to ask whether you upload future or lecture notes ahead of time?
Yeah, that's okay. I will do that. Not a problem. I will do that. What I'll be doing, I'll be uploading it so that you can read up as well, and you can read up as well. Whatever we're going to do, I'll make sure that I share it for you to read up, so we come and have an interactive session.
Sorry, sir. And also, should we be expecting tonight's recording on the Biscafé?
You didn't do what?
I said, how soon should we be expecting tonight's recording on the Biscafé?
As soon as I get processed, but what I do is that by tomorrow that will be processed. I don't, it takes time for this to process, and I'm not going to come and sit and start waiting for it to process. But it's going to be available as very soon for you to start consuming the content.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Visual, you raising your hand.
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you for today's session, and wanted to tell you I double checked. I haven't received any email to access the platform you just displayed. I do have access to Basecamp, but the second one, I think it's called Bootcamp. I do not have access to that platform, and I did check. I haven't received any email. So it would be really great if you can send me an email or the login details so that I can access.
What I will do is I will reassess everybody's accessibility. I will double check. Oluwashayo, are you having any kind of issue as well? I want to know everybody's challenges so that I can address them.
Yes, likewise.
You've not received anything?
Nothing at all.
Don't worry. So there is not a problem. I'll take my time. That is what I'll be doing tomorrow. I can't I promise you to do it tonight, but by tomorrow I will resolve all this issue and upload the content.
Thank you very much, Charles.
No worries. Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
See you on Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.